Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Forge from CZT Bonnie Luther. Now, this is a neat tangle in that, number one, it's pretty simple. And I want to say pretty forgiving. I think depending on how you do it, you could make it look super elegant or super whimsical. And, you know, both are really good. And so I think that we can all have a lot of fun with this. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to, let's see, do I want to use the PN? Oh, what the heck? Let's do that. So I'm going to use a black, I think it's black, yeah, PN pen. And we start this one off with an S shape. And I think I'm going to do two of them on here. All right, so you know what, actually, maybe I should do it this way. Start kind of in the middle. Well, we'll see how this works. S, like so. And just flipping to make it easy. And S, and I'm going to butt those two up against each other, like so. What I got on here? Okay, there we go. All right. Now, after you do your S, and however you want to do it, because this could be a border tangle, I will put in... I suppose, well, you know, I'll have you look on the Tangle Patterns link, which will be in the description section. It has some of excuse me, of Bonnie's work there. And so to give you more inspiration, and you can see things that she's done, and then you can grow off of that. But this could be a really neat line tangle. So going, you know, around a border or as a string, you know, lots of things like that. All right, so after you do your S, then we're just going to start at one end, and we're going to continue this, you know, so this end, we're going to continue it around, like, into a spiral. I'm trying to try it. Mine, in the step out, I made mine kind of more like print out, so I went around a few more times, and I know in Bonnie's step out and in her drawing, she doesn't go as many times, and so it comes off with a little bit different look. So I'm trying to do that. All right, then, after you've done the one, then coming off of this one, we're going to do another spiral, and it's going to come off of here and hit onto the, you know, with the cross, onto the original S that we've drawn where it crosses over. And so, kind of like the takeoff and land idea, so I'm going to trace a little bit over. And this one, I'm going to try to make that, yeah, a little bit smaller, because it seems like she had made hers a little bit smaller. And I try to get that to blend in. Sometimes it's hard with these PNs. All right, next, I'm going to flip over. So that way, it's just doing the same stroke. So we're doing this, you know, on this end. You could, if you want to. I mean, you could do it this way and do it upside down if you want to. But I sometimes like to have in my hand, it's the same stroke over and over again. So taking from this end, and we're going to just kind of continue around, you know, making that spiral. And then coming off of that spiral to the center and a little bit smaller spiral. Now, since I did another one, in case you missed it, here we go again. All right, so I'm going to take this top here and I'm going to continue that around into a spiral. And then coming off of that spiral, hitting the original, you know, line of the S. Again, I'm trying to make it a little bit smaller on purpose, because it seems like that's what she has done. I was doing some others, and I didn't do them as small. I did them a little bit bigger than this, and they were more even. And it just has a different look, and that's something you can play with. Okay, then flipping the tile, so I can do the same stroke, or same motion, like so. And then coming from that spiral down here, like that. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. All right, so I'm going to leave that one as such, and show you some things some other things that I did as I was playing with this. So one, I did the same thing. Actually, this is in a brown 01 pen, and I decided, because I wasn't liking what I had done, so I was like, well, when you don't like what you've done, then you look at ways and think of ways, well, how can I make it look a little bit better so I can be more happy with it? So what I did was I aura'd around the outside of it, And then I still didn't really care for it. And I had a little smudge somewhere. So I'm like, oh, well, let's do rounding. So rounding is where we have these, these little places that go in, and you just round it off like so and fill it in. And it kind of gives a really neat effect. So I decided to do that. And you know what? It made me a little bit happier. Then I also was playing with it. So I had done Crescent Moon not too long ago in a Quickie video. And I decided, because I left the outside blank, thinking, well, at some point I'm going to do a border tangle, and I was like, well, why not? And we'll see how that looks. So I did little S's around the outside, and I did the big S. I did the S part first. That first step went all the way around with that first, and then did the steps from there. And this one I think this was really my first playing with it. And just, it's like I said, it still kind of looks a little sloppy to me. But then I put in little extra dots at the tips, or I should say, it'll be at the end, or at the center of the spirals. And that kind of gave it an interesting flair. So, it's one of those, it's interesting. And so lots of ways to kind of dress it up. So in the description section, I will have my step out, as well as a link to the Tangle Patterns site where this is at. So that way you can take a look at her step out and as well. And more importantly, take a look at her artwork. Just because that will inspire you as well. Because that's what she had done an aura on some. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. If you don't like what you've done, aura is one nice way. Because this one, there's not really any fill-in opportunities. Except for that rounding in the aura. But yeah, so anyway, it's a really, really neat tangle. And if you enjoyed the video, would love to have a thumbs up. If you liked it enough to see more and you're not subscribed yet, would love to have you subscribe. But also hit that notification bell next to it if you do. So that way you can decide how you want to be notified, if you want to be notified at all, because there is a none on there. If you don't like stuff popping up on your phone or in your email, hit that. I don't like that, so that's what I hit, and then when I go to YouTube and then I see, what's new with the people I subscribe to. So would love to have you. Also in the description box, ways to connect with me if you'd like to. I do some free classes on Thursdays. I do 2 sessions. I'm in Eastern Daylight Time. I'm here in Michigan. And so at 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. I'm doing them. Every week, pretty much. There might be a here and there where it gets shifted, but for the most part, that's what I'm doing. Those are free. I have some other ones occasionally that are free, and then I also have some paid classes. So ways to connect with me are there, Facebook as well as my website, things like that. And we'd love to have you pop in sometime and have some fun with us when we tangle. All right, so with that, I hope you enjoyed this, and I wish you happy tangling.